Today's story takes us to the Gauteng province of South Africa. Gauteng is South Africa's smallest but busiest province. It might be the smallest of the 9 provinces, but it is also the wealthiest, and entertainment is high on its list of priorities. It has an endless supply of tourist attractions and historical landmarks, with Johannesburg as its central hub. Johannesburg is the largest city in South Africa. Today we'll be focusing on the east part of Johannesburg, called the city of Ekurhuleni. That's where we find the town of Benoni, where today's story took place. Benoni contains numerous attractive and tree-lined suburbs. The area is located centrally and it is very unique and attractive. Benoni is the perfect suburb for families with kids. One such family is Marissa Naidoo's family. Marissa Naidoo, aged 10 years old, was born on the 21st of February 1995 to parents Links and Rashila Naidoo. Marissa was an Indian little girl who lived with her parents and 3 siblings. She was described by her father, Links Naidoo, as a quiet and shy little girl who adored her younger brother, Dylan. She would come home and share the knowledge she got from school with him. Her father described the bond his daughter and son had as a very special one. The morning of the 15th was a normal morning for the family. Marissa and her siblings got up and got ready for school. Marissa's parents then dropped them off at school. Unbeknownst to them, it would be the last time they see their daughter alive. It was a normal school morning until at about 10:30 a.m. Marissa's name was called over the intercom of the school as they told her to get ready because her uncle had come to fetch her. However, the man who fetched Marissa was not her father nor her uncle. In fact, the man had never fetched Marissa before from school. The man told the school's deputy principal that he had come to fetch her because her parents were arrested for fraud and tax evasion, and that the police took away their phones so there was no way to call them. Marissa apparently knew the man and called him uncle. She walked straight to him as if she knew him, and because of that, the deputy principal released her to his care without authorization from her parents. When the clock struck 2 p.m., Marissa's father, Links Naidoo, went to fetch his daughter. To his horror and disbelief, he was told that a Mr. K. Singh fetched Marissa already. He panicked when he recalled no relative by that name. It dawned on him that his loving and beautiful little angel Marissa was kidnapped. Later that day, at about 4 p.m., Links received a call from Marissa's kidnapper, who demanded a ransom of 500,000 rands in exchange for Marissa's safe return. The kidnapper told Links that he should not involve the police, and he would later call with the drop-off details and location. Links asked to speak to his daughter to confirm she was okay, but the phone line went dead. The kidnapper shortly called back and told him the drop-off was to happen the next day. Then Links let him know that he already had the money and they could do the exchange that night, as he was anxious for his daughter's safe return. The kidnapper agreed and told him the location was Emperor's Palace at 6 p.m. Links then contacted the police, who staked out Emperor's Palace while the father waited with the money for his daughter's kidnapper. However, he didn't show. 2 days in a row, Links sat in vain waiting for the kidnapper for hours at various meeting locations where the kidnapper was supposed to release Marissa. However, unfortunately, Links had to return home alone and broken each time. Links Naidoo later confided in an acquaintance of his whom he did business with that his daughter was kidnapped and was surprised by the man's odd and suspicious response. The man had said, and I quote, I hope you're not suspicious of me." Close quote. Links told the police the man's name, which is Raveen Ramprashad. That's when the police looked more closely at Raveen. Raveen was actually known to the community as he lived in the area. 3 days after Marissa's abduction, the police decided to raid Raveen's flat in Princess Avenue in search of Marissa. They found a suitcase in the flat and looked inside. To their horror, they found Marissa's frail and deceased body inside the suitcase. She had suffocated. As police were about to arrest Raveen, he plunged off his third-floor balcony and critically injured himself. He later succumbed to his injuries. The Naidoos believed there were at least 3 people involved in their child's abduction and murder. However, the police denied those beliefs. Initially, police suspected Marissa's father of the crime, but eventually cleared the grieving father. It was revealed that Raveen was a widower and had a 20-year-old daughter. Raveen Ramprashad's former girlfriend, who asked to remain anonymous, said she had a restraining order against the 41-year-old man. She went on to say, after a year dating, their relationship turned sour. She said, and I quote, "I cared about him, but I feared that if we continued our relationship, our family would be ruined." Close quote. She said Raveen began stalking her shortly after their breakup. He once called her 52 times. She had to change her mobile numbers 5 times because he continually harassed her. Raveen had history of run-ins with the law. He was arrested for theft in 2001 and later had charges of trespassing laid against him by his former girlfriend when he refused to leave her house. Raveen's longtime friend and hairdresser alleged that Ramprashad had told her that he was friends with Marissa Naidoo. She also said the two gambled together and saw each other at Carnival City. She also said in court that Ramprashad told her that Naidoo had lots of money and owns houses. He also said Marissa was worth a lot of money and that there were properties registered in her name. On Sunday morning, the police delivered the devastating news to Marissa's family that Marissa would not be coming home. Links was broken and accused the school of delivering Marissa into the hands of her killer. Every day we had so much hope that she would just arrive at the house, but she didn't, the devastated family said. The family was considering legal action against the school. It is very painful and should never happen again. Schools must do something about security, and parents should be able to know at all times where the children are. It can happen to anyone. A heartbroken and exhausted Marissa Naidoo said. Raveen Ramprashad's accomplices were never found. A few years later, police reopened the investigation into Marissa Naidoo's case. They said there were some leads that were not properly investigated initially, and that was being corrected. However, they spent a month looking for the original docket, which appeared to have gone missing.